There's the tree stump down there. I don't see any signs. Something's tapping the cabin last night. It's hard telling with the way this thing transmits sounds. Ground stuff feels a wee bit soft. I swore something was tapping at this window. I don't see any fingerprints. And then at one point it sounded like something was walking by. I have to see what the recorder marked, if anything. I just said that one tree knock was just like crack. At least that's what it sounded like. It definitely sounded like it sounded like your high quality And then right down there's where Deb said she saw something just in the sway. I'll tell you what, if we ran into Bigfoot or something very interesting today, that would be pretty damn impressive. I'll fire up the other recorder and watch down that way too. Chasing something down. See the cardinal over there. Could have been a raccoon. noises. What could that sound have been? Is there more coffee? Although there is a lot of white oak in here. Yeah, so a little bit early, but that's preferred food source. So our good friend Jen was joining us Saturday morning there, and she got to the cabin around 11:30, and she had just returned from a trip out west to Washington State, where she got to meet a lot of our other friends from online, and she herself had just had quite an experience. So we spent some time, talking about that prior to heading out the door. Let's talk about the Bigfoot Festival 2023. Now, unfortunately, we did not capture a lot of photos during the midday on Friday. But I am going to tell you that there was a significant change between this year and last year. Last year, that's kind of what it looked like during the day. People were about. It wasn't very thick. There was a bit of a storm a little bit later on, but overall, it wasn't crowded at one bit. And finding parking wasn't too hard at all either. However, this year's Friday would look like last year's Saturday. It was packed on Friday, and then it was really packed come Saturday. Well, this year we went and we purchased the speakers package because I really wanted to hear what some of these gentlemen had to say. I specifically really wanted to hear what Steve Coles had to say, what Cliff had to say, B. Mills, really everybody on here, and our new friends that we made up at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, Joe Perdue and Ron Lanham. Now, when we got there, we was in for a big treat. We got there shortly after 2 o'clock. Steve was actually doing a 2-hour presentation over 1 hour. And if you haven't heard Steve Coles do his presentation, you really got to. It was phenomenally well done. So was Cliff's, so was Joe's. And Steve was very personable. And both him and Cliff presented something that I wasn't expecting. And for those people that are about, synchronicity and stuff like that, it was not lost on me that both Steve and Cliff would be bringing information that I found important towards a certain camera and project that I've been working on for the past year. So, Steve did his 2-hour presentation. Cliff did an extra presentation, and Joe and Ron did theirs. And it ran past the 6 o'clock mark. And what really surprised us was that we found out that after 6 o'clock, the festival was still going strong. And talking with the presenters that day, they were pretty well smoked. It was actually for an August day in Ohio. It was a lot cooler than what it was last year. And that would pretty much bring our night to a close. We would leave there and head back to the cabin. I said it was just, the people were about. Now, Steve is quite the character. He came out, we had great conversations with him. We got to know everybody a little bit. Cliff was great. Joe was awesome. But I tell you what, these guys, they went out of their way to make this festival, along with that MC, an outstanding event. And if you haven't heard these guys talk, you got to get out there. You got to do so. They have got some of the best argumentation I've heard. They've got both quality and quantity evidence that they present. So yeah, get out there. Opportunity pops up. See them. Well worth it. This place is going to get a little bit creepy tonight, but at least I was creeped out a little bit.
Alrighty. Easy. Time.
This one, TV's on. So everything's on right now on both of them, except for. So you normally use a red so I don't blow out my night vision. Gives you an actual pretty decent bite into the night.
Looks better with.
Yeah.
Moms.
And then you can Wi-Fi it to your phone or whatnot. I usually back it off a little to see, then you get a halo effect for the two highs, so I just slide it down to the halo goes out. And these work real well. Deb was sitting there while I was taking a shower last night, and that's when she said she saw like a black shape there, and it was doing that side to side thing. These weren't out yet. I didn't have any IR stuff out. Of course, you turn off your infrared, and you're not going to get that much. But overall, they do a pretty good job. Don't adjust your dial. We've came back from the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival. We're sitting out on the porch. I've got my orbs of fancy out there, I guess you want to call them. And just listening to the night. A lot less noise tonight than there was last night. Pretty sure that those were Bigfooters last night. Or at least the kids, when they were playing with their kids. That's about the right size.